Hello and welcome to Planet Bio, and this channel is largely meant for guidance of biology for CBSE 11, 12 and NEET exams. Now, we are having a discussion on kingdom Animalia, animal kingdom. The first and foremost characteristic feature to be an animal is multicellularity. Then comes heterotrophic nutrition. Then you can write lack of cell wall, and finally you can write presence of neurosensory system. But before we discuss the entire kingdom Animalia, we can have a focus on basis of classification of animals. What are the bases? We have to make a list of that, basis of classification of animals, right? बेसिस ऑफ क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ एनिमल्स, जंतुओं के वर्गीकरण के आधार क्या है? फर्स्ट वन, लेवल्स ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. फर्स्ट वन, लेवल्स ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. Earlier we used to study protoplasmic grade of organization or subcellular grade of organization that is found in protists, protozoans, protists, you can say, for example, amoeba, plasmodium, etc. Now, as we do know that the first and foremost characteristic feature of animals is multicellularity, so you can say that all the animals are multicellular. No animal is going to be unicellular. But the protozoans can be defined as unicellular animal-like protists, for example, amoeba, plasmodium, etc. Now, we can move further and we can write levels of organization. First one, cellular level of organization. Each and every life process is done at cell level. For example, porifera, sponges. Porifera. This is the first phylum, animal phylum, or you can say first multicellular animal phylum. Porifera, also commonly known as sponges. Second one, you can see tissue level of organization. Now the cells are going to organize a particular level called tissue. Tissue means what? Group of cells performing a common function, that is a specific function, and it begins with nidaria or cylindrata, and you can write some more examples, ctenophora and platyhelminthes. So we have the example here. Nidaria you can write, also called cylindrata. Some people say coelentrata. No, it is pronounced as cylindrata, right? And this phylum includes Hydra, Obelia, Physalia, Adamsia, like that. Second example, you can see Ctenophora. C is always silent here. Ctenophora. And Ctenophora, they can be commonly called comb jellies, sea comb jellies. They are exclusively marine in nature, marine in occurrence, and they are bioluminescent. They have the capability to emit own light, so they show bioluminescence. For example, you can see Pleurobranchia, Hormifora as well. Next one, Platyhelminthes. Platy means flat, helminthes means worms, flat worms. They may be free living or parasitic. The free living flatworm is planaria. They have the highest degree of regeneration, and some more examples are there, but they exist as endoparasitic forms. Tinea solium, tapeworms, you can say. Tinea saginata, another tapeworm. And fasciola, the liver fluke, you can write. Cystosoma, the blood fluke, you can write. So these are the examples. So you have to mug up these names, group names and examples that will be discussed in detail later on. Another one you can see the another level of organization is organ grade or organ level of organization, and here we can write here we can write platyhelminthes. Better to include platyhelminthes here because you can see tissues have organized together to form an organ. So it is further grouped into this category, platyhelminthes. So I take a pardon, organ grade of organization should be included in this platyhelminthes. Sometimes it happens during the course of lecture. And another one, organ system. Organ system. Organ system grade of organization, it begins with Eschhelminthes. Eschhelminthes, or you can say nemathelminthes or nematoda, that includes round ones. If you take the cross section of the body, you can find that it appears to be spherical. So Eschhelminthes, round ones. You can write the examples as caris, then Wuchereria. Several examples are there, and most of them are parasitic in nature. So from Eschhelminthes to Annelida, then comes Arthropoda, then comes Mollusca, then comes Echinodermata, then comes Hemichordata, then comes Chordata. So these are the phyla from Eschhelminthes to Chordata. These phyla, the plural of phylum is phyla, these show organ system grade of organization. And in this organ system grade, you can find digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, locomotory system as well, nervous system, endocrine system, reproductive system. So mainly we have to focus here in this part of syllabus, we have to focus on circulatory system, and there are two types of circulation, open circulation or we can write closed circulation. Okay. As you know, we were having a discussion on types of circulation, circulatory system. So you can see type of circulation here. During the course of evolution, type of circulation differed in two different groups of animals. First one is open circulation. Open circulation is also termed as lacunar circulation. And another one is closed circulation. Two major categories are there. Here in open circulation, you can find open body cavity is present in which blood is filled with. So this is what we call hemocoel. Hemocoel means the cavity filled with the blood. Hemocoel present here. Hemocoel present here. First point. Here hemocoel is absent. Hemocoel is absent. Next, here capillaries are present. Capillaries are perhaps the thinnest blood vessels with a single layer of endothelium and carrying the blood in a very narrow part of the body, you can say. Capillaries. Capillaries are absent here. Hemocoel present, capillaries absent. Here capillaries present. So a special kind of blood vessel, thinnest but permeable to certain solids and liquid molecules. Capillaries are present. So basis is capillary. Basis is capillary. Hemocoel present here, hemocoel absent here, capillaries absent here, capillaries present here. So this kind of, not all blood vessels, arteries, veins, not all kind of blood vessels, capillaries, the thinnest, the most permeable blood vessels. Although these carry 5 to 7% of blood in our body, but its presence makes the circulation closed. Now, what about examples? Closed, if you keep this example in your mind, you can find a very good example, and that is annelids that has been mentioned in the NCERT textbook. Annelids. Annelids, ringed cylindrical animals. For the first time, segmentation, metameric segmentation, external plus internal segmentation appeared here, Annelida. For example, Ferritima, earthworm. For example, Nereis, sandworm. Annelida, we should write Annelida, not Annelids. We have to write the name of phyla, Annelida. And a special kind of mollusca is there. Cephalopod mollusca, example octopus. So you must mention here, not all mollusks, cephalopod mollusca. Cephalopod mollusca. For example, octopus, loligo, and chordata. But there is a group in chordata, there is a subphylum in chordata, Urochordata, that has no closed circulation. So you have to mention here. Porifera, phylum Porifera, Cnidaria. We are moving in increasing order. After that, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Platy प्लस एस्क कर देते हैं, एस्क हेलमिंथीस. After that, Annelida has come here. Arthropoda, as you see in cockroach, open circulation is there. Then mollusca except cephalopods. So non-cephalopods means octopus को छोड़ करके non-cephalopods. And किसका नाम आएगा after that? Echinodermata एंड कॉर्डेटा का एक हिस्सा है जिसका नाम है यूरोकॉर्डेटा, जिसको ट्यूनिकेट्स भी कहते हैं, यूरोकॉर्डेटा. सो ये ओपन और क्लोज सर्कुलेशन दो प्रकार के हुए. सो मोस्ट ऑफ द फाइला दे हैव, द एनिमल्स डू हैव ओपन सर्कुलेशन. वेयर हेमोसील यू कैन सी, कैपिलरीज यू कैनॉट सी. हियर कैपिलरी यू कैन सी, हेमोसील यू कैनॉट सी. So Annelida, cephalopod mollusca and chordata. So you can find in closed blood circulation the pressure is high pressure, and it is well regulated. High pressure system is there. Now we move on to the next page. Now my dear students, another basis of classification is body symmetry. This is the second one, body symmetry. Very simple to study. Types of symmetry. If a living organism cannot be divided into two equal halves from the main axis, that shows no symmetry, asymmetrical. If the body is divided into two equal parts passing through the main axis, this is called bilateral symmetry. And if the body is divisible into two equal halves passing through the center, यहाँ से by any plane, this is plane, ये है axis, ये दोनों है axis, और ये है plane. तो यहाँ by central axis or main axis or chief axis or principal axis of the body is divisible into two equal halves. This is right and this is left. So you can see here, you can find mirror image. So this is bilateral symmetry. bilateral. And if the body is divisible into two equal halves passing through the center from any plane, this is any plane like this. So this is radial. And a very important information I am going to share with you, that radially symmetrical organisms have the capability to obtain food from all the sides because they do have tentacles. For example, cnidarians. But bilateral symmetrical animals, they appeared on the bottom of the sea bottom or sea bed you can say, sea base you can say, and they started crawling. They started crawling like this. They started crawling like this, and here in this direction you can see, as they utilize their sense organs, from this part, they started sensing the presence of food or something like that. That means they had the receptors there, and they had head part in this zone. So if it is anterior, just opposite to that is posterior. That means near the mouth or near the head, it is going to be oral end, and here it is aboral end. So anterior, posterior, oral, aboral, and this part is ventral, this and this you can say dorsal. Ventral means towards abdomen, belly side, and dorsal means back side. So anterior, head side, mouth side, posterior towards anus, ventral, belly side or abdomen side, and dorsal, back side. So this is how they started crawling, and bilateral symmetrical animals arose on the seabed. Now, if an animal is showing neither bilateral nor radial, that means the animal is said to be asymmetrical. And most of the porifers you can see, they appear to be asymmetrical. So we can write the example here. Example you must note down. Asymmetrical. Asymmetrical organisms, living organisms, for example, most porifers, most sponges. Then you can mention another category, that is radial. Radial you can see, for example, cnidarians. Ctenophores, and one surprising fact is that echinoderms, if it is written echinoderms, that means adult echinoderms. So echinoderms also do show this kind of symmetry. For example, starfishes. But their larval forms belong to bilateral category, bilateral symmetry, bilateral. And bilaterally symmetrical organisms first appeared in platyhelminthes, that is the flatworms category. Then aschelminthes, roundworms, then annelida, segmented worms, then arthropoda, animals with jointed legs, then mollusca, soft-bodied animals with shells, then echinoderms, larvae of echinoderms, then hemichordates and chordates. So bilateral symmetrical, you can write echinoderms larvae, larval forms, echinoderms larvae, and you can write from aschelminthes to chordata. Aschelminthes to chordata. The only exception is echinoderms. Adult form of echinoderms, they do show radial symmetry. And one more surprising fact you must note down for further reference, for further study reference, you can see there are certain mollusks, gastropod mollusks. They do show bilaterally symmetrical initially. and they do exhibit rotation of the body, 180-degree rotation. So anus comes towards the mouth and they become asymmetrical. So initially bilaterally symmetrical and finally asymmetrical. Example, gastropod mollusks. This is the surprising fact. Sometimes it is asked in the exam. So you can say gastropod mollusks. Gastropod mollusks. Gastropod mollusks initially bilateral. Initially bilateral. And then asymmetrical due to rotation, and this rotation is called torsion. Asymmetrical. Boys and girls, sometimes I do get disturbed from this airport activities, and some pets are here, their activities also disturbed, and some persons of society living just beside my residential area or official area. So you should not be getting disturbed by these activities. You have to focus on your studies, because planning is vital to success and that needs to be implementation. So implementation is essential. Now the next page would include, dear students, the next topic is body wall. This is going to be the third basis of classification of animals. Body wall, or you can say germ layers, or you can say cellular layers. Body, I am always saying like this. When we write body, that means that is concerned with embryonic body. This is all about the structure and development of embryo, not the adult body we have. So body wall means embryonic body wall. When an embryo develops, what happens? How an embryo is formed? You know, a sperm is there and an ovum is there. This is the male gamete, this is the female gamete. Both fuse together to form a zygote, and that zygote develops further. That comes under embryonic development. Certain structures develop during embryonic development, and these become very, very important for us, because as they develop, they will form some further structures. Body wall or germocellular layers. During embryonic development, what happens? Two cellular layers are formed. Two cellular layers. For example, two cells. Suppose this is an embryo and two cellular layer is formed. One is said to be ectoderm, that is outer ectoderm. Another one is endoderm, inner. Sometimes this ectoderm may be called epidermis, and as gut is present there, alimentary canal is present there, so it is called gastrodermis. So nothing to worry about. Ectoderm may be called as epidermis. In biology you can find several names of a person. Okay. My name is Rajesh Ranjan Sinha. Sometimes some people say Rajesh sir, some people say Ranjan sir, some people say Sinha sir. So it is trinomial system of nomenclature you can consider. So ectoderm is, boys and girls, you have to focus on two things in biology. The first one is terms and another one is mechanism. So we write here, ectoderm is the outer germ layer or cellular layer, and this is ready for organogenesis. It is otherwise called epidermis. And endoderm you can see inner germ layer or cellular layer, and it is just near the gut or the alimentary canal or the food pipe, so you can mention it as gastrodermis. I am teaching in English. I am an Indian, but I am teaching in English because most of the standard textbooks you will find in medical colleges, that is written by the most famous foreign authors. Although we have some although we have some books written by Indian authors also, Chaurasia ji, anatomy you can find, but most of the books, for example, biochemistry by Harper, very useful to you, and another one is physiology by Guyton, cell biology by D. Ortiz. So these are the things you have to do in coming future. So two germ layers are there, ectoderm or epidermis, outer one, endoderm or gastrodermis, inner one. Two cellular layers. Two cellular layers. So the animals are termed as diploblastic. Diploblastic. And this condition begins from porifera. Then it is further seen in Nidaria. Then it is further seen in Ctenophora. Right? So because of absence of mesoderm here, they are just diploblastic. But one cementing layer will be present here. One cementing layer will be present here. This is non-cellular. This cementing layer is called, if it is mesohyal layer, then the example is porifera. If it is going to be, this is mesohyal means about 13 different types of cells remain scattered here. They do not form a particular layer, cellular layer or germ layer, so they are termed as mesohyal. The diploblastic condition is going to arise from this point here, from this phylum here, mesohyal, porifera. But mesoglia, this mesoglia, this is also middle non-cellular layer, but the difference is that it is mucilaginous. It has a sticky substance, and it is also a non-cellular. Example you can see Nidaria and Ctenophora. Nidaria, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Comgeles. So both of these are not considered as cellular layer. Only cellular layer, ectoderm, only cellular layer, endoderm, two cellular layers. Diploblastic condition. These are middle non-cellular layer. Middle non-cellular layer. Just act as cementing layer. Cementing layer. Structurally, both mesohyal and mesoglia are different, but functionally they are the same. They are middle layer, cementing layer, just to connect, just to join ectoderm and endoderm. Now, we move on to another condition, triploblastic condition. Boys and girls, another part of this level of organization, you can see in this basis of classification, you can see triploblastic. In embryonic development, we can find 3 germ layers. 1, 2, 3. This is outer germ layer, ectoderm. Outer cellular layer. Here no non-cellular layer. All the layers are cellular layer or germ layers. 3 cellular layers, 3 germ layers are there. First one ectoderm, this one you can say mesoderm. Mesoderm, this is middle cellular layer. Middle cellular layer. And third one you can see endoderm. Endoderm. This is the inner cellular layer. Right? All these layers will give rise to the formation of organs. Organogenesis would occur. For example, आपसे पूछा जाए name the tissues or organs developing from these germ layers. For example, there are four basic types of animal tissues. First one, epithelial. Epithelial tissues arise from all these three germ layers: ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. Connective tissues and muscular tissues, they arise from this mesoderm layer only. Exceptions are there, we are not to run after the exceptions. And then you can see nervous tissues or neural tissues develop from ectoderm. Now what about organs developing from these germ layers? Ectoderm, the entire neural system, brain, spinal cord, all these things. Mesoderm, blood vascular system, circulatory system, excretory system, except one, urinary bladder, that is endodermal in origin. Now, the organs which are endodermal in origin, you can write lungs, liver, pancreas, all these, right? So, these are the germ layers or cellular layers which give rise to the formation of different organs. So, organogenesis occurs after the formation of these germ layers in a particular stage of embryonic development. That's what we call gastrula. We would study in detail in standard 12 chapters, reproduction, human reproduction. Here it may confuse you because these points are concerned with embryology, that is embryonic development. So it will take some time. So you have to put your best effort to understand all these subject matter. Now, three germ layers are present, so the condition is going to be triploblastic. And the first triploblastic condition first appears in phylum Platyhelminthes, that is, you can see flatworms, and it goes up to chordata. So triploblastic means containing all the three germ layers, ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm here. Triploblastic condition first appeared in Platyhelminthes, so this is going to be the first member of Platyhelminthes, flatworms, commonly called flatworms. Then comes Aschelminthes, roundworms, then Annelida, segmented worms, then Arthropoda, animals with jointed legs, then Mollusca, soft-bodied animals with shells, then Echinodermata, marine animals, exclusively marine animal with a spiny exoskeleton, you can see. And after that, hemichordata, for example, Balanoglossus, and chordata, the most developed, most advanced phylum of this animal kingdom. So Platyhelminthes to chordata. From Platyhelminthes to chordata, triploblastic conditions are found in the members of Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, and chordata. So I think that boys and girls, it is not going to be a Herculean task to learn all these points, although it belongs to embryology or embryonic development, but you have to try your best to learn all these points, and we would see next basis of classification of livings in further episode. Good luck. Keep watching Planet Bio by Rajesh Ranjan.